Our remote starter is complete in our 2012 Jeep Wrangler. I'm going to show you what we've got. To start the vehicle from the OEM remote, simply lock the doors 3 times. This will trigger the remote starter to start the vehicle. You can also shut it off the same way, pressing the lock button 3 times. Okay, we've programmed our single button long range remote into the system as well. To start the vehicle with a single button, press and hold the single button for 3 seconds. This will also trigger the remote starter to start the vehicle. You can also shut it off from our single button remote as well. Now we've also programmed in a 5-button remote just to show you how that would work. With our 5-button remote, we would press the lock button. It would lock all the doors. When we come back to the vehicle, we press the unlock button. It will unlock all of the doors. It will also leave the parking lights on for 30 seconds, lighting your way to the vehicle. We're going to go ahead and lock the vehicle with our 5 button, and we're going to start it. To start it, we're going to press the bottom button and hold it for 3 seconds. This will trigger remote starting of the vehicle also. And we can also turn the vehicle off. We're putting a iDataLink remote starter coupled to a CRYSLER LC Pro 1 in a 2012 Jeep Wrangler. It's going to support starting from the OEM remote. It's going to also support our single button long range remote, and it's going to support our 5-button Crime Stopper remote. Now this product comes ready to install right out of the box. We can literally remove it from the box, plug it in, and have it working in 10 minutes. Programming is done. It's flash programmed. All the options you need are enabled. It's ready to go. Doing an installation on a 2012 Jeep Wrangler. I'm going to show you the disassembly. Pop the dash down. Remove the dash panel. Remove 2 10mm. Give us a little bit of access. We're also going to remove the torque screws from the steering column. Screws are deep, so we're going to have to use a hand driver. I don't have a bit long enough. And once the screws are out of the steering column plastic, we'll split the column by pressing on the seam while we pull down. And we'll remove the column plastic. Next thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to access the immobilizer plug, and we're going to press the clip on the side and remove the plug. I'm going to use my pick tool to push the clip, and I'm going to pull back on the harness. Be careful not to pull on the assembly. Okay. At that point, we're ready to plug in the remote starter. Okay, we're dealing with 2 plugs on our iDataLink harness. We're going to plug the ignition plug from the harness into the ignition on the vehicle. We're going to press it in until it locks firmly. We're going to plug the vehicle's immobilizer plug into our iDataLink box. At this point, we're ready to program our iDataLink ALCA. To program the ALCA, we're going to place the OEM key in the ignition, and we're going to turn the ignition to the on position. The green light will flash on the iDataLink module. We'll then shut the key off, remove it from the ignition, and we're going to press the unlock button on the remote. This will complete the programming. The green light will go out. From this point forward, the remote starter is ready to use. We've completed our remote starter installation. We can go ahead and test the remote starter by locking the doors 3 times with the OEM remote. This will trigger the remote starter and the iDataLink module to start your vehicle. You can also shut it off by locking it 3 times. And we can also trigger our remote starter from our long-range single-button remote by pressing and holding for 3 seconds. And we will also be able to shut off the vehicle from the single button remote. I've also programmed in Crime Stopper's 5-button remote as well. If you pair it with this remote, you would be able to lock the doors, unlock the doors, and start the vehicle. This system is available on pluginstarters.com. Okay, we're going to put this iDataLink junction box up behind the transponder assembly. We're going to use our super long 14-inch zips to secure it to this assembly. This will make it easier to reassemble this vehicle. You want to be careful when you're doing this. You definitely don't want to pull on this box. Now we're going to route our harness down the OEM harness. And we're going to zip it with large zip ties. Now, if we don't want to do the parking lights, our installation is complete at this point. To do the parking lights on the Wrangler, we have to go outside under the hood to the fuse box of the vehicle. The parking lights are obtained in the main fuse box of the Jeep Wrangler. To access the parking lights, we're going to remove the fuse box from its holder. I'm going to start by taking the lid up and removing it. Then we're going to release the clips that hold it in. There's 4 clips. I need to release all 4 clips while applying upward pressure to the fuse box. When we release all 4 clips, we should be able to pull the whole fuse box assembly up. Revealing a multitude of wires. The wire we're looking for is white with green, and it will energize when we turn on the parking lights to the vehicle. So I only have one person here, myself, so I'm going to test this white with green. And it is off right now. I'm going to go inside and flick the parking lights on. We're going to see if that's our wire. Okay, we've turned the parking lights on, and we're going to retest the same wire. This time the wire tests positive. So we have found our parking lights. If you look underneath, they're on the green plug. The color is white with green. I do not have a pin location. We're going to go ahead and we're going to connect our parking lights here. We're also going to find a positive power source for our parking lights. This is a power source that's energized whether the key is on or off. And we found a wire next to our parking light wire that's constant hot, and it is a solid red. We're going to go ahead and we're going to apply a tap to this wire as well. We've extended our red and black and our white wire off the LC Pro, and we've put a wire loom around it, and we've routed it over to our parking light connections. We're going to supply our constant power to our parking lights from this red wire, the red and black, and then we're going to put a positive on this white with green, that is the parking light wire, when the remote starter is engaged. We're going to go ahead and snap this assembly back together, and I'll show you how it works. I'm going to show you the completed remote starter. We've routed our iData Link wires down the main harness and mounted the CA module right here. Up in the back, we've got the remote starter. I'm going to switch cameras. We've got our LC Pro mounted up behind the driver's side speaker. Our parking light wires go out through the firewall. There's actually a boot on where the clutch would be that you can just cut with a razor knife and get them through the firewall. And we've routed our loom over to the CA. Everything's all set.